Wait, scroll up real quick a little bit.
Go up.
How to be a nonconformist.
Wow. Goes hand in hand, really.
Is that what it says? It's a little ironic.
It's self-aware.
No!
It's self-aware.
Why do you guys want to do this one?
It is aware.
I think I could do this one because this is just.
Yeah. Let's do this one to wrap it up. Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
this feels a good wrap up. This just is
Yeah.
like. Alright, how to be a nonconformist. You know, it's a little ironic to follow steps on how to become a nonconformist, but this is not the same as conforming to restrictive social pressures. So remember, any of these steps, we can break them. Use this advice and suggested strategies to help form your own understanding on nonconformity in your own perspective, behavior, and style.
Nice.
Careful word choice here is very...
You're very dangerous.
All right.
Okay, avoid knee-jerk rebellion. You might be sincerely unhappy about the pressures to conform or society's requirements. Try not to let this spread to nonconformity for its own sake. Becoming nonconformist is about discovering what works for your personal... For your
personally.
What? That doesn't...
Yeah.
Okay.
Works for your personally.
Not choosing the more difficult path out of spite.
It broke my heart
Okay.
too the first time I saw a typo on WikiHuh
Is
because
that-
then it made me think: WikiHow? My bad.
I
Are these things not
question the
curated?
legitimacy of that. Okay.
Right.
I'd like to read that again, just for kicks and giggles.
It won't make more sense.
Becoming a nonconformist is about discovering what works for your personally, not choosing the more difficult path out of spite. Okay. I don't
It's supposed to be
So
personality.
it's not
Yeah.
just going, I want to be different.
This guy's
do it
pointing
for
a finger at
yourself.
you.
That's why I read the first article, because I want to be a train.
Right. Let others run their own lives. Stereotypes and snap judgments are just another side of social pressure.
Nice.
I don't have to make a sound effect for that one. Don't form an
All
opinion
natural.
of someone based on their membership in a subculture, whether that's a religion, a fandom, or a school clique. But if it is a fandom, maybe because that
Yeah.
can be
Especially
that can
if
get
they're
pretty
furries.
bizarre.
Okay, you're a nonconformist. Keep it to yourself. Don't conform to society and tell other people about your nonconformity.
Ah.
That seems hard.
You gotta play the metagame.
Thank goodness there's a WikiHow.
All right.
Alright, so think about the groups you belong to. Keep in mind that even a subculture without mainstream status or social respect has its own codes of behaviors. So, even though you are not conforming, follow the rules. Examine these pressures as well as mainstream social pressures. A group of like-minded people can make you feel comfortable and accepted, but it will not necessarily teach you how to find your own path. Remember, you're finding your own path. Even though you're finding another group and following their rules, follow your own rules and not
Right.
their rules. Don't get confused.
Step 4: think of laptops.
Should I buy a Dell
Or a Toshiba.
I don't want to conform to society, so I'm giving
What's
up.
the most popular? I won't buy that one.
Yes.
Use
I
social
think a nice Toshiba would do.
Use social media less often. If you use social media, try to restrict your use to a few minutes a day or less. Just a
I
few
disagree with this.
minutes.
I think to be a nonconformist, you need to use non-traditional social media platforms. You know, things like Russian Facebook. It's perfect.
Yeah.
FarmersOnly.com.
Yes. Farmers only.
Send pigeons.
Carrier pigeons are the
That's-
best way to
Here are my memes.
Right. I have compiled a list of memes for the month. See
I hope
below.
my
See
picture has
attached.
reached you safely.
Right.
And
Go
found
my-
you in good health.
Go, my winged mailman. Show the world what I have to offer.
Constantly checking out other people's behaviors and or sharing what you are doing yourself can make it hard to develop your own genuine opinions. Well, how does sharing what you're doing make it hard to?
Because you might intake other people's opinions and might pollute you.
But if you're just sharing your things, then I don't think
Yeah,
that
but
would pollute you.
but if you go onto social media, you put something out, there's going to be feedback.
I wonder if there's a link to watch what this guy's watching.
It's a really
Because I want to be watching that.
it's really messed up. It's a
Oh, sorry.
it's
Yeah.
watching a train crash. It's horrible, but it can't look away.
Oh my god.
Ah,
All those people
sorry.
dead. By a train.
In an instant.
Yeah, and
I heard
then
that
in one
train.
fluid motion, he pretends to be a train.
All aboard Mailboard! Stating the location you're going to.
Chugga, 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 chugga.
Choo choo.
Maybe. Alright, take it away.
Was that,
Oh, is it me?
that's what
Is it
you
me?
do, yeah.
Okay, take it away, me. Critique mass
Nice
media
segue.
messages Popular television shows, magazines, music, video games, and other media are major forces in shaping conformist expectations and pressuring people to follow them. Consume these in small doses, if at all, and use a critical eye to examine them. Ask yourself questions like the ones below, and come up with answers yourself, as opposed to typing in your answers to Google. If you have a strong emotional reaction to a television character, do you think the show creators intended you to?
Yes.
Why would they choose a character to be a villain, a hero, or a sidekick? This is how to not enjoy media.
Yeah, wait, like, so what are you supposed to? You're like, okay, so someone create like so Superman, and he's supposed to be just like a pillar of good, and that's what that's
Mary
supposed
Sue.
to- I mean, yes, and that's what the show creators intended, but you're like, no, I will not conform to your ideals.
I guess so.
Superman's the bad guy.
Yeah, like it's like, well, upon further analysis, my opinions are worth more than the directors and filmmakers and writers behind this.
I know. I understand that
I
word
am
better.
smart. And a nonconformist. They conform.
Really? So, next you gotta examine your own actions after each social encounter.
Ooh,
After you talk to someone,
Horrid.
this is how to develop social anxiety.
go back and double check yourself.
Goodness me.
Like,
After each
second guess everything.
Oh
Did I say
god.
something silly?
Did I say something that a normie would say? So, after each social encounter, or after you make plans for one, reflect on your behavior and the decisions you made. If your actions or decisions were made to please someone else or to avoid teasing, recognize that these were reactions to conforming pressures. Equally, if you avoided doing something popular or expressed a negative opinion because other people were interested in the topic, the social pressures around the action or topic were still determining your behavior. Ha! Even though you tried to get around it, you still were controlled! Make a mental note of these occurrences so you can think honestly about your preferences for the next time that situation comes up.
This seems impossible.
Yeah, this is...
Like, how?
Again, this is psychotic. You literally examine
You have to
every
have a
aspect
mental
of your
disorder
life.
for this
I don't
story.
think the one that said about like doing things to make other people happy. I don't think that's necessary. You can do something to make someone else happy, even if it's not exactly what you want to do. That doesn't mean you're a nonconformist. I mean, just you're
Just
a nice.
care about other
You
fucking
care
people.
about someone else.
It's because you can handle
will-
social situations.
yeah.
Right.
Are you supposed to just be like obstinate and in the way?
Well,
Right.
their car's out of gas and I'm nearby. I could help them fill up.
But I don't want to do something just to make someone else
Never
happy.
do that. They'll think I conform to society, and I don't.
Right. But then, like, it's also so contradictory because if you just want to do whatever the hell you want to do, you have to examine it and analyze it
I have
afterwards.
to make sure that's
Yeah.
exactly
Right.
what I want.
So that means
for no other reason besides I want to.
You have to make up your own rules to make sure that you are following things correctly so that you do it right.
You just
So
So
that you
you
can
don't-
not follow society rules correctly.
Yes.
This is silly, excessively silly. I think this
Excessive.
is silly.
This is enamorously.
Okay, part
Is that
two.
a word?
Enamor.
I hope so, because it sounds smart.
I like it.
This is indubitably silly.
Part two: finding your perspective. Expose yourself
Whoa,
to different
sorry.
viewpoints. Okay.
Expose yourself
Expose yourself.
Ah, moving on.
to different viewpoints.
The more educated and experienced you are about diverse perspectives, the less you'll take mainstream opinions for granted. Talk to community members you wouldn't normally encounter, outside of your religion, ethnicity, sex, and age group. If at all possible, travel to new places and spend time getting to know the locals.
For instance, try talking to an Asian.
Okay, so
I've never done that.
okay, I just have to say, so you have to expose yourself to different viewpoints,
Uh-huh.
but avoid social media because those are the bad viewpoints.
Right.
Because those viewpoints, if you get exposed to them, they'll poison you. But if you like just talk to someone, their viewpoints won't poison you, and you can still stay strong in your nonconformity.
That's fine.
I think this article might be a portal to how to open a book because that's what I think I'm looking at the same picture from that one.
Oh, man.
Oh boy. List your priorities. Sit down and think about what would make you most happy if social pressures didn't exist. Well, I think manslaughter would be fun.
I hate Greg's stupid face. If I could take his stupid face off this earth, that'd be great.
But the social pressures are keeping his face in
Yeah.
place. Decide whether you'd like your clothes to be comfortable or stylish, and which kind of clothing you think falls under that description. List the activities you enjoy or the ones that you would like to try out, such as cocaine, but not limited to.
All right. Examine your inspirations. Copying someone is antithetical to the whole idea of nonconformity. But using individuals or movements as inspiration for your own ideas and behaviors is perfectly acceptable. Ideally, critically examine many influences to help direct your own style, political opinion, and behavior. These can be individuals such as Nikola Tesla, or Gandhi, or groups.
Let other people influence you.
Such as political movement. Such as a political movement, a band, or a sports team. Don't copy it.
You know what really defines me? Communism. A political movement, yes.
You know, the way that I've built my life is around the teaching of Nikola Tesla, Gandhi,
and no one else. No other
groups,
a band.
Those are the only two.
Political movements, such as the Green Party, Blink 182,
and the Cleveland Browns.
Wow.
I have to say,
that is who I am.
My personality, without the Cleveland Browns, I'd be nothing. I'd be unable to form an opinion about anything.
I'm not conforming to their viewpoints, though.
Yes, but
you're not copying. No.
The wise elders, the wise sages of morals and ethics, such as Gandhi and Nikola Tesla,
or groups,
or bands,
or bands,
Gandhi or bands,
same thing.
Just have like a quote somewhere, like either Gandhi or bands, not sure. All right. Oh, you.
Oh, sorry. Experiment. Try out different behaviors and styles. Learn who you are. Digital dancing.
No.
Hey, this is fun.
No.
What you like and dislike. Many people will assert their standards, opinions, and ideals. Like Gandhi. Think for yourself.
Like bands.
Yeah, Gandhi was like, yeah, Britain shouldn't rule India. What a dummy.
Right.
Think for yourself and choose the ones that seem right to you.
Yes. Read a variety of books.
Wow.
Read authors from other countries and other centuries. In other languages. I don't know. Especially from other universes. Especially ones who originally wrote in another language. Mm-hmm. Seek out authors who defied the literary and social conventions of their time to get a perspective not included in the mainstream works. Here are a few examples. U.S. counterculture authors such as Jack Kirby, Alec, William S. Burroughs, Kurt Vonnegut, and Hakim Bey. Novelists that experiment.
I think it's a soft K, guys, but it's whatever.
Such as James Joyce, Flann O'Brien, Andre Belli, Milorad Pavic, and Gabriel Garcia Marquez. Okay. Marquez is fine.
Brandon, don't do this. You're undermining.
Read books that deal directly. Oh, sorry, I don't want to.
Hey. I mean, you know what? We don't have to conform to a certain order. How we want to define how we read these and how we talk about these is what we can do.
Do I have to look sad when I'm reading a book?
No, you look inquisitive.
Okay.
Remember, this is only suggestions. Yeah. You can totally ignore all of them.
How suggestive?
Yeah. I don't know.
John Paul, it is, in my opinion, that I've thought about it for a long time.
Yes, sir.
I've decided that I would enjoy it if you read 2 in a row. Because I'm not conforming to the system we laid out for ourselves.
All right.
We're not conforming to our own system.
Books that deal directly.
I have decided I no longer want you to.
I have decided on a new voice for reading.
There we go.
Read books that deal directly with nonconformity. If you'd like to understand conformity and social pressure better, many books discuss the issue directly. 2 main categories of books deal with this especially. Right, I can't handle that.
That sounds like the from the Weird Al movie, the woodshop guy.
Oh yeah.
Cuts off his thumb.
That's bleeding.
I think maybe I need to consider my influences because maybe that really had an influence on me. Yeah. Many young adult novels deal with issues. I stopped doing that because I can only do things that make me happy and not anyone else. Including deal with issues of nonconformity, including the high school novel Stargirl by Jerry Spinelli and the sci-fi series Uglies by Scott Westerfield. Scholars who have written directly against the conformity include Ralph Waldo Emerson, Friedrich
Nietzsche.
neat guy.
Nietzsche.
Henry
God's
David
dead.
Neat
Thoreau.
guy. What a
And
swell guy.
John, and I want to say John Paul because that's how I pronounce my name, but Jean Paul Sardine.
Okay, I have to say, a bunch of these guys are like actually their works are kind of well known.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
Yeah,
is
I
everyone
recognized
that's
a few
mentioned
of
these
those
last
names,
time,
yeah.
pretty
Like
much.
okay, well I guess because they wrote against the norms.
Right.
But like yeah.
I don't know.
All right, so now we're on to part 3, being a nonconformist in daily life. You've done all the prep work. You've wrote everything down. You've overanalyzed every conversation you've had for the past year.
But now we're going to do all that daily.
Daily. All right, so first,
Get ready to ruin your life.
persevere regardless of feedback. Negative feedback doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
Okay, I am perfect and nothing will change that.
You power through that.
Right. How to have a manic episode.
Yes, this is just psychotic. Ignore everyone around you. Like, I get that, social pressure and stuff, but like,
Goodness.
yeah, if you're being an asshole.
Yeah,
You're being an
sometimes you need to
asshole.
be told you're being a dick.
So,
Right.
remind yourself
I just
of-
love that, it's just so much of the, I don't know, the internet echo chamber, just the negative feedback doesn't matter. It's just that thing of it's just I hate whenever, people
Power
are just
through.
blame anyone that, has some amount of constructive criticism, it's just a hater. It's that sort of thing, negative feedback doesn't matter.
There's no place here whatsoever in your nonconformity.
By the way, anyone who's listening, you just really tear us apart in the comments.
Right. Because negative feedback doesn't matter.
Yeah, we're not scared. It doesn't
I
matter.
won't even hear it.
I don't even
So,
have ears for this.
also, hey, next part. Positive feedback is not required.
Okay.
Oh,
See?
no feedback whatsoever.
But it can matter. It doesn't say it doesn't matter. So you
Right.
can accept positive
If
feedback.
it makes you feel good.
That's stupid.
It's not required.
It's just
Remi-
confirmation bias.
Yes.
yeah, so only you're a little bubble. You be you, nothing else.
But that's okay
Don't let it
because-
in.
Because now that you're analyzing every conversation that you've had, you're just such a smart analytical guy, so
Yeah.
you should be able to make all these choices for yourself.
So, I guess you would make all the feedback you need in your life.
Right.
It's all just internalized.
Right.
You're just a self-preserved system.
Yeah.
So, remind yourself of this whenever you feel anxious or stressed because of social pressures.
This reminds me of something. There was this guy I knew, and he was talking about one time, people were talking about religion and stuff, and he was like, "Yeah, I don't really have a religion. I do research in my mind." And I was like, "All right."
Oh
Ooh, that's dangerous.
no!
I was like, "Okay, boy,
Right.
that's fine."
Are you talking about thinking? I think
Yeah.
that.
He's like, I do research, but it's just in my mind. It's okay.
Okay, mind.
Yeah.
Google.
Okay. Can I cite that on a research paper? Or?
Mind.
Not looking too good.
Yes.
Just because you don't follow social convention blindly doesn't mean you're immune to it. Try to minimize time spent with friends or family members who discourage you or
Oh, come on.
give you unpleasant feedback.
Come on.
Yeah, remember,
Cut everyone out of your life if they don't agree with you.
I don't.
if they don't agree with you,
Right.
get rid of them. Can't handle it, can't hack it, move on.
Right. This is how to non-conform. Follow exactly what I'm telling you to do about your
again,
family.
this whole everything is counterintuitive.
Yes.
You
So
may
weird.
think it would be great to slap everyone in the face you see, but your family might have a problem with that. And if they try to tell you that's a bad thing,
Slap them in the
just
face.
Just slap them in the face. No negative feedback
No.
for you.
No, walk out.
Mm-mm.
You don't need them in
Don't
your
need
life.
that.
You don't need
None
that
of
negativity.
None
No,
whatsoever.
you don't need those haters.
Mm-mm.
You are an individual.
They're just bringing you down.
Yes,
You don't need that.
that's right.
Talk about your perspective.
This is what talking about your
But if they
perspective
say
looks
anything
like.
negative,
Yeah,
don't
no.
listen to it.
Right.
Yeah.
Talk about your perspective. Make sure that you're the only one talking.
You're the one talking, yes.
Exactly.
No one else matters.
You can sort everything else out by yourself.
Right.
If anyone wants to talk to you about your nonconformist behavior, be open and honest about your perspective. There's a reason you make the decisions you do. It's because you don't want to conform. And talking about them can help reinforce your confidence and maybe even encourage others to think for themselves.
I think what you ought to do at this point is take all the stuffed animals and huggable dolls from the train that you created earlier, set them all in a room and just talk to them. Because that's really all you need to do.
Yeah, there'll be no negative feedback.
Right.
From that.
Lose the drama. Do not overreact or tersely call out words. It tends to aggravate those around you.
What kind of words?
Terse ones. You may be acting just random words. You may be
You
acting
keep using these random words. I know you're trying not to conform, but come on, I need to communicate.
terse. You may be acting differently than everyone else, but don't confront their behavior unless you find it actively harmful.
Well,
Most
then you're
of all-
giving them negative feedback. That's not fair.
Yes, and negative feedback does not matter. Most of all, don't try to convince people to conform to your personal nonconformist behavior. Be an example, not a proselytizer.
Proselytizer.
Not a fertilizer,
proselytizer,
not a prosecutor,
proselytizer,
not a perpetrator.
no.
Understand the consequences. No one will like you anymore.
But that's okay.
It's telling you to push people away if they don't
understand the
they
consequences.
are bad.
You'll be an insufferable prick, but
Understand the consequences. Being comfortable with your behavior does not make you free from consequences. Okay, I like that. Like, it's
Right.
it's not gonna all work out. Make sure you are prepared to face negative reactions. Ignore them. Or punishment for your actions.
So ignore.
right.
Move forward only when expressing yourself or challenging the status quo is important enough to outweigh them.
Or until they let you out of prison.
I know, gee. That face.
What is that face?
That is the face of nonconformity.
I can tell you, I'm so happy wearing this t-shirt and pink pants. That is the happy face I make. Wait, what makes you happy? When shopping, ignore everything you've heard about fashion.
All right,
Wear a
good
trash
advice.
bag. Gloves on your feet, go for it.
Yes.
What's emo?
Ignore everything.
What's preppy? And all the rest of it.
I mean, how are you supposed to find out what you like?
What-
Like, if you don't look at anything else, you're like, that looks
And
good.
what?
Ah.
And what are pants?
What really are clothes?
Yes.
Underwear?
Just take in information and analyze it, and then go with your life.
When you see a shirt you like, decide why you like it. No, that's... If you like it, then you like it. Why do you have to...
Talk yourself out of it.
Yeah, are you
Wear
sure
nothing
you
but,
really
but
do like this
blank
shirt?
t-shirts.
Yeah.
Is it because you truly like it? If you look at it and you're like, that's a nice shirt.
Do you really like it?
Is that why you really think?
Second guess yourself.
Is it because you truly like it, or because you saw a magazine feature it? Decide whether you're comfortable with the answer. If you are, buy the shirt. Great. If you're not, move on. Nonconformity isn't about wearing controversial clothes. It's about wearing whatever you like. Oh, so the whole point, what I'm getting at, the whole point of nonconformality is wearing whatever you like. When it boils down to it,
when you
it's-
see a shirt you like, think really hard about it,
Until you don't
and
like it
then
anymore.
wear
And then-
whatever you like.
And then,
Right.
okay. And that's really all you have to do to be a nonconformist.
Right.
Just
All you have to do
wear
is just
what you like.
live in a constant state of second guessing yourself and honestly misery at some point.
Just see a t-shirt, wear it if you like it, but you might not really like
But
it.
that way you'll know.
Yeah.
Here's
Tips.
some tips.
You might find a group or location with fewer social rules or less enforcement of them, where you can be yourself without fear of harassment. The anarchist author May describes these as temporary autonomous zones.
Oh, Taz for
Taz
sure.
for short, yeah.
Right. Change can be a good thing. Creating your own rules for once and sticking to them forever is not the point of becoming a nonconformist. Warnings.
Here's a warning. It can be difficult to gather the strength and clarity to strike forward regardless of opinion, especially if friends and family members react negatively. Ignore them.
Especially if the judge reacts negatively.
Try changing your behavior slowly, gaining confidence along the way.
Wow.
I
That was
feel
something else.
inspired.
And there's nothing else.
I would like it.
Alright, I think it's time to read this in Spanish.
Oh.